In a quiet town nestled at the edge of the forest, there stood a sprawling mall that seemed to hide secrets of its own. Among the hustle and bustle of shoppers during the day, there was a young security guard named Ethan who took the night shift. His task was to ensure the mall's security during the eerie hours of darkness, when the once vibrant shopping center transformed into a desolate labyrinth. Ethan was known for his calm demeanor and unshakable courage, but the nights at the mall tested even his resolve. One fateful night, as the clock struck midnight, he settled into his small security booth, surrounded by monitors displaying various camera feeds from around the mall. The silence was so thick that the faintest whispers seemed to echo in the corridors. As the hours passed, Ethan began to notice something strange. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw the lights in one of the hallways flicker. Assuming it was just a glitch, he kept his gaze on the monitors. But then the flickering grew more frequent, and the lights in the hallway seemed to dance as if controlled by an invisible hand. A shiver ran down Ethan's spine as he watched. Unable to tear his eyes away, he reached for his walkie-talkie to report the anomaly to his supervisor, but before he could do so, the lights abruptly went out, plunging the hallway into darkness. His heart raced as he clenched the walkie-talkie, feeling the weight of the unknown pressing upon him. Then, as if taunting him, the lights in the hallway suddenly blazed back to life, flooding the corridor with an eerie glow. Ethan's breath caught in his throat as he stared in disbelief. And then something even more unsettling happened. The lights began to flicker in a pattern, almost like Morse code. Dread filled Ethan's chest as he strained to decipher the flickering message. It was a message that seemed impossible yet undeniable. In the dim glow of the monitor, he read the words, "I see you." The blood in Ethan's veins turned to ice as his heart pounded loudly in his ears. His instincts screamed at him to flee, but a mixture of fear and curiosity kept him rooted to his seat. The lights continued their eerie dance, spelling out more ominous messages. "Leave now, you cannot escape." A sense of dread enveloped Ethan as he realized he was not alone in the mall's haunting emptiness. Shadows seemed to move just beyond the reach of the monitors, and faint whispers echoed in the stillness. With trembling hands, he finally managed to call for backup, his voice quivering as he recounted the surreal events unfolding before him. But Ethan knew what he had experienced was real, a chilling encounter with something beyond explanation. Even after leaving the job, he could never shake off the feeling of being watched, of those haunting lights etching their message into his memory. To this day, he wonders about the enigmatic force that roamed the mall's dark corridors, a mystery that lingers like a shadow in the corners of his mind. This is the story today.
Lost in the woods. In a quaint village nestled between towering trees and meandering streams, lived a spirited young girl named Lily. Her laughter was like the melody of a song, and her bright eyes held the promise of adventure. The woods surrounding the village were her favorite playground, a place where her imagination could roam free. Little did she know that one fateful day would forever change the course of her story. On a sunny afternoon, when the forest seemed to whisper secrets in the rustling leaves, Lily and her friends decided to play hide and seek. With excited giggles, they counted while their hearts raced in anticipation of the upcoming adventure. As the seekers closed their eyes and began to count, Lily dashed into the woods, her footsteps fading into the tapestry of nature. The forest embraced her with its dappled sunlight and gentle breeze. Lily, a cunning hide, and seek player, found the perfect spot behind an ancient oak tree. She held her breath, a mischievous grin on her face, as she watched her friends search high and low, their voices calling her name through the trees. As the hours passed, the sun began its descent, casting long shadows that danced on the forest floor. Lily waited, her excitement giving way to a growing sense of unease. She had been victorious in her hiding spot, but now the game had taken an unexpected turn. No matter how hard she tried to quell the rising panic, it clawed at her chest like an insidious predator. The forest, once her enchanted playground, now seemed vast and foreboding. The rustling leaves carried a haunting echo, and the shadows morphed into eerie shapes. Lily called out, her voice trembling, but only the silence of the woods answered her back. She felt the first prickle of fear creep up her spine as twilight painted the sky with hues of orange and purple. Lily's fear deepened into desperation. She emerged from her hiding spot, her heart pounding, and began to call for her friends. But the forest seemed to swallow her cries, muffling them in its depths. Hours turned into an agonizing eternity. The moon cast an ethereal glow, illuminating the forest in a ghostly light. Lily's cries grew weaker, her strength waning as exhaustion and despair took hold. She stumbled through the undergrowth, disoriented and lost as tears blurred her vision. Morning came, but Lily did not emerge from the woods. The village rallied, search parties combing the forest, calling her name through the trees. Days turned into weeks, and hope dwindled like a flickering candle. The woods, once a sanctuary, held the secret of Lily's fate. It was a somber day when her lifeless body was discovered deep within the forest. The trees that had once been her playmates now stood as solemn witnesses to her tragic end. The village mourned the loss of their bright star, forever haunted by the knowledge that a game had led to such a devastating outcome. Lily's memory lived on, a reminder of the fragility of life and the unfathomable depths of the forest. Her laughter was replaced by the wind's mournful whisper, and her story became a cautionary tale shared around campfires. The woods, once a realm of innocence and wonder, held a darker truth. A tragic tale of a girl who played hide and seek and never came home. Reflecting on the story of Lily in the woods, what emotions did her journey evoke in you? Share your thoughts on how the tale impacted you and what lessons you might take away from it. The enigma of Echo Lake, in the heart of a remote land, where tales of wonder intertwine with the whispers of the wind, stands the majestic Calat Peak. Its rugged grandeur towers over the landscape, creating a realm where the ordinary blurs into the extraordinary. Amidst this picturesque landscape resides a lone shepherd named Alexei, who tends to his sheep with unwavering dedication. With each new dawn, as the first rays paint the sky, Alexei embarks on his daily journey with his flock. Guiding them up the winding path, they ascend deeper into the embrace of Calat Peak. The air is crisp, infused with the fragrances of pine and the earthy meadows. Nestled within the mountain's embrace lies a serene alpine lake, aptly named Echo Lake for its reputation of returning whispered words. One fateful day, beneath the warm sun and amidst blooming wildflowers, Alexei led his sheep to Echo Lake. The sheep grazed contentedly, their bleats harmonizing with nature's symphony. Alexei gazed upon this tranquil scene, drinking in the beauty of the lake and the magnificence of the surrounding mountains. As the sun dipped behind the horizon, Alexei called to his sheep, expecting their familiar chorus in response. Instead, the mountain's echoes reverberated back, the haunting emptiness filling the air. Panic surged as Alexei searched every corner of the lakeside, his sheep nowhere to be found. Driven by desperation, Alexei waded into the shimmering waters of Echo Lake. Ripples disrupted its mirror-like surface, as if the lake itself held secrets, yearning to be unveiled. The tranquility was deceptive, as if the lake held the key to another realm. Days turned into weeks, and the villagers grew somber in their discussions of the shepherd, who vanished alongside his sheep. Speculations ran wild, with some believing that Echo Lake concealed a portal to another dimension, while others entertained the possibility of extraterrestrial intervention. Echo Lake remained calm, its waters reflecting the mysteries concealed beneath. The villagers would gather by its shores, gazing at the ripples as if expecting answers to emerge. Alexei's name became synonymous with the unknown, a reminder of the thin veil between reality and the unexplored. And so, the legend of the vanished shepherd endures, etched into the lore of Echo Lake. As the sun sets behind the mountains, the lake retains its secrets, an invitation to all who dare to peer into its depths and contemplate the enigmas that lie within. Reflecting on the mysterious tale of Alexei and Echo Lake, what do you think might have happened to the shepherd and his sheep? Share your theories and insights on the enigma that surrounds Echo Lake. Whispers of shadows. In a charming corner of Poland lies a city with a storied past, known for its vibrant culture and historical architecture. But even in the most picturesque places, darkness can find its way. In a notorious neighborhood, shrouded by shadows, a chilling crime unfolded within the walls of an unsuspecting apartment. The city's residents often whispered about this neighborhood, cautioning visitors to avoid its winding alleys after nightfall. Old legends painted it as a place where the boundaries between the real world and the supernatural blurred. Yet, as with any urban legend, most dismiss these stories as mere exaggerations. Amid the charming cobblestone streets and cozy cafes, an apartment stood witness to a sinister act. Occupied by a young woman named Elena, it was tucked away on the third floor of a historic building. Neighbors knew her as a quiet, reclusive individual, shying away from interactions with a tight-knit community. One foggy evening, the city's glow was dimmed by an unusual chill. Murmurs of unease rippled through the neighborhood, as if the air itself sensed the impending tragedy. The next morning, the normally bustling streets were hushed, disturbed only by the distant wails of sirens. As the sun rose, a grim discovery was made inside Elena's apartment. Her lifeless body lay sprawled across the floor, a tableau of horror. The room bore signs of a struggle, its tranquility shattered by violence. Whispers spread like wildfire, painting the picture of a life cut short by a malevolent force. The authorities descended upon the scene, determined to unravel the mystery that now haunted the neighborhood. Detectives meticulously combed through the evidence, peeling back layers of secrets that Elena had carefully hidden. As they pieced together the puzzle, a web of lies, betrayal, and twisted desires emerged. Residents began to recount their interactions with Elena, shedding light on a life tinged with darkness. Rumors swirled that she had been entangled in a dangerous circle, one that led her down a treacherous path. The neighborhood's legends suddenly seemed less absurd, the supernatural seeping into reality. Months turned into a year, and the investigation bore fruit. The truth was unveiled. Elena's murder had been a culmination of jealousy, greed, and a thirst for power. The neighborhood, once known for its picturesque charm, had become a backdrop to a tragedy that would forever stain its history. As the years passed, the whispers faded, but were never forgotten. The notorious neighborhood, once dismissed as mere stories, held a real and chilling tale of its own. The apartment, now empty and haunting, served as a somber reminder of the fragility of human lives and the darkness that can lurk even in the most unlikely of places. After hearing this chilling tale from a Polish city's notorious neighborhood, what are your thoughts on the thin line between reality and urban legends? Do you believe that such stories can carry a grain of truth? Share your insights and comments below. Daylight. In the heart of a quiet, forgotten town nestled among rolling hills, an old and decrepit farm lay hidden, shrouded in mystery and encased by overgrown foliage. This farm had a history, one that whispered in the rustling leaves and creaking floorboards, a history that none dared to speak of openly. Local legends spoke of an ominous presence that lurked within the farm's decaying walls. Some said it was the ghost of a tormented farmer. Others believed it was the lingering spirit of a notorious criminal who had met a gruesome end there. But the truth was far more chilling. One bright morning, a group of adventurous teenagers from the town decided to explore the enigmatic farm, drawn by the allure of the unknown. Their footsteps echoed through the overgrown courtyard as they cautiously entered the main house, their flashlights flickering to life in the dim interior. As they ventured deeper, the air grew heavy with the weight of the past, and the walls seemed to whisper secrets long buried. They passed through dusty rooms filled with antique furniture, remnants of a life once lived. The atmosphere was eerie, but the thrill of the unknown propelled them forward. But unknown to them, they were not alone. Unbeknownst to the teenagers, a figure clad in darkness silently observed their every move. He moved like a specter, haunting the shadows, a sinister presence with a malevolent purpose. One by one, the teenagers fell victim to the inexplicable. Whispers of their fear echoed through the farm as the entity, the very embodiment of terror, claimed them. The old farm became a house of horrors, where the living and the spectral converged in a terrifying dance of fate. The authorities were alerted, and they descended upon the farm, desperate to uncover the truth behind the inexplicable series of events. But as they combed through the farm's bleak history, they found nothing that could explain the horror that had transpired there. The farm became a place of whispered tales, a dark legend that kept the townsfolk awake at night. The malevolent entity remained elusive, its identity and motives lost to the ages. Some believed it to be the spirit of the criminal who had met a gruesome end, seeking vengeance on anyone who dared to intrude upon his domain. And so, the farm stood as a testament to the inexplicable, a place where the boundary between the living and the dead blurred. Its chilling legend served as a warning to all who dared to seek answers in the shadows, where the line between reality and the unknown was as thin as daylight's fleeting touch. After hearing the spine-tingling tale of the abandoned farm and the enigmatic entity within, do you believe that some places can hold secrets that defy explanation?